Everything you need to know about California's reopening this summer. I'm Chris. This is Yellow Productions. I do travel guides that are fun, informative, entertaining, and in this video, I'm going to give you an update on reopenings at restaurants, what's happening with California's new masking policy, reopenings of theme parks, and finally, I'm going to talk to you about some places that even though everything's being lifted on June 15th, masks are still going to be required for everyone at these places. First, let's talk about what's going on at restaurants. On June 15th, today, all of the limits on social distancing and amount of people in a restaurant have been lifted. Previously, it was 50% across the state, so now every restaurant can have its original capacity of diners inside. Outside, there haven't been any limits, but inside, it's business open again. Now, with no social distancing, it means there won't have to be a 6-foot distance between tables, so you can pack it in, or restaurants can pack you in right next to people like they did before. Also, no plexiglass required, though I'd imagine some restaurants will still be keeping their plexiglass around because that stuff was expensive, and who knows when the next pandemic is going to be. Now, an area of dining that I think is in a bit of flux is all the extra outdoor dining that restaurants have set up. In California, cities and local governments were very liberal about allowing restaurants to open outdoor seating on sidewalks and on streets, but now that they can open 100% inside, many municipalities are telling restaurants either they should take their outdoor seating away or to charge them for their outdoor seating for the privilege of having it on city-owned property. So enjoy that new outdoor seating while it lasts. Now, these lifted restrictions also apply to nightclubs, to bars, to family entertainment centers. Basically, there are no social distancing limits or no capacity limits on businesses in the state of California. Now, that doesn't mean that you'll be able to go without your mask. Yes, masks are still going to be required in certain places in California. So, where are you going to have to wear your mask? Well, the state of California is aligning to the Center for Disease Control's guidance, which essentially says that if you've been vaccinated against COVID-19, you don't have to wear your mask in most places. If you are unvaccinated, then you still need to wear your mask indoors. How's that going to work in practice? Well, the state of California is not requiring businesses to require to wear masks any longer. So most businesses in the state of California are going to post a sign in front of the business. Actually, this is a requirement per the state. They must post a sign so that patrons are aware of these rules, that unvaccinated people still have to wear masks, and that guests at businesses should self-attest that they are in adherence to the policies. Now, self-attesting could mean that you read the sign and you self-attest to yourself and then you go in. At other places, you may find somebody actually asking you whether you understand these policies before you go in. Now, just because the state is allowing 100% capacity, I don't think we're going to see it at a lot of restaurants and businesses right away, because also many businesses are having problems hiring people. With all the extra unemployment benefits going to people, people don't want to come back to work, and so I think we're going to see a lot of restaurants still having not all of their tables open because they don't have enough people to actually work the tables. But the good news with all of this is you can go sing inside a church, you can cheer at a sporting event, and you can eat your popcorn at a packed movie theater once again. And yes, if you still want to wear your mask because it makes you feel more comfortable in certain places, you can absolutely do that. And retailers have the option to be more restrictive. So I think we'll still see some stores, maybe restaurants, even enforcing mask requirements. Lots of restaurants are still only to go, and lots of places that have single bathrooms still have their bathrooms closed to the pandemic, even though there was never a requirement for them to do that. The other thing you'll continue to see at restaurants and businesses in the state of California, at least until June 28th, is their employees will still be required to wear masks. The mask requirement for employees at businesses comes out of the California Occupational Health Department, and they have not decided whether they will allow employees to remove their masks if they've been vaccinated. So now I want to talk about what's happening at amusement parks and fairs. They will also not be limited in capacity. Previously, they had 35% capacity limits. Now they can go up to 100% capacity unless they reach 5 or 10,000 people. California is defining this special thing called a mega event, and indoor events that have more than 5,000 people are considered a mega event, and outdoor events that have more than 10,000 people are considered a mega event. And a mega event has more restrictions than regular events or regular places of business. So let's first gonna hit what happens at indoor events. So this is things like conventions, concerts, or indoor sporting events that have more than 5,000 people. In this case, the state of California is requiring venues that are indoor mega events to have all of the people that attend it either be vaccinated or have a proof of a COVID-19 negative test within 72 hours prior to that event. So don't expect the return of any in-person concerts real soon because the state's going to be pretty restrictive about that. Now, outdoor mega events, and by the way, theme parks are considered outdoor mega events because they're outside. The state of California is suggesting that outdoor mega events, including theme parks, highly encourage and recommend that people get vaccinated, that they wear their masks, but they are not telling mega events that they have to. So what's that actually look like in practice at theme parks? Well, Disneyland announced just yesterday that masks will no longer be required at Disneyland if you're vaccinated. If you're not vaccinated, you'll still be required to wear a mask. Now, some of the gotchas in here is that kids that are between the ages of 2 and 12 years old can't get vaccinated right now. There's no vaccines for them. So they will still be required to wear masks when they are inside. If you are taking public transportation at Disneyland, meaning you're riding the bus from the Toy Story parking lot into Disneyland, that's indoor public transportation, you will still be required to wear your mask on that bus. Now, Disneyland will not be requiring proof of vaccination. They won't require people to upload their vaccination cards, but when you enter the Disneyland theme park, they will have somebody asking you if you understand the state's requirements and you are in adherence with their policies, that if you're vaccinated, you don't have to wear your mask, and if you aren't vaccinated, that you will wear your mask. Another bit of good news at Disneyland is the temperature checks at entry. Those are a thing of the past, so hopefully we'll see shorter lines to get into Disneyland here in the near future. Disneyland is also opening up their hotels. The Grand Californian Hotel is currently open, as is the Paradise Pier Hotel. The Disneyland Hotel is going to be opening on July 1st. Now, one thing that Disneyland is keeping in place is that in addition to having a ticket, you will also require a reservation to enter the theme park. So make sure you buy a ticket and have a reservation for a certain day. This was a gotcha when we visited SeaWorld. We didn't realize that just because we bought a ticket for a specific day didn't mean that that also wasn't a reservation. So you have to buy a ticket and make a reservation at Disneyland, at SeaWorld, and at Legoland. The San Diego Zoo and the Wild Animal Park, on the other hand, they're just going back to all you need is a ticket and all you need to do is show up. Okay, now what about the other mega events, concerts and conventions? Well, taking a look at San Diego, which is one of California's most popular destinations right now, there are basically no big concerts scheduled until August or September. Taking a look at the San Diego Convention Center, the convention center is currently being used as an intake center for immigrants. The first convention at the San Diego Convention Center is coming up in August. So it's still going to be a few months before things really get rolling again under these relaxed restrictions. And these new mega event restrictions, they're currently set to expire on October 1st, but they'll be evaluated in September to determine whether they should expire October 1st or whether that should continue on. Now, there's still a few places that everyone has to wear their mask. Where is that? Well, that's in K through 12 schools, that's in hospitals, that's in jails, that's in homeless centers, and that's on public transportation, buses, subways, and airplanes. So if you're going to be going in any of those places, taking any public transit, also make sure you bring your mask. So now, although this California reopening is being announced as 100% open and we're back to normal, it's definitely not normal. This is definitely not normal. If you are looking to come to California and experience normal, I'd say after October 1st, when the mega event restrictions go away, sometime in the winter time frame, that's when things are going to look a bit more back to normal. Well, if you are coming to California, you might enjoy some of my other videos from the state. You can click here to watch a couple of them, where you'll find links in the description below. As usual, I won't say goodbye because I'll see you in one of these videos.